hi here. When you hop on, say hi. I'm early as usual. Hi, Linda. Hi, Rosie. You've been watching me, Rosie. Oh, you've been watching for me. I read that wrong. They give it another minute or two. Hi, Tina. Welcome. Hi, Laura from South Carolina. Welcome. Thank you for sharing, Tina. Give it another 30 seconds or so, and we're going to get started. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to flip the camera down and need to get a couple things here to get ready. Okay. Today is oh yeah, me neither, Rosie. Um, since today is the first day of fall here in the U.S., I am going to use a stamp set called Amber Autumn. So I'm going to flip the camera down so you can see what we're going to be doing. Okay, this is the stamp set that I am going to be using. And you open it up and it has dies. Okay. I do cut my rubber stamps, but I won't have to worry about it because they're discontinuing the red rubber and they're all going to all the photopolymer stamps. So I don't have to trim them anymore. So kind of happy about that. When I first started back in 2004, we always had to cut our stamps. They came on a sheet completely, no, not already cut out. We had to cut our own out. Okay, I'll be using this die, which is one die, and I'll use this die. Now, I already have it cut out with the exception of this one. But I have the others cut out, so you don't have to watch me do all that. But you will see this one. The first card we are going to do what they call blackboard technique. And this is the card. And it's really not that hard. It's a very easy technique. I'm going to slide that up there. I'm using basic black. It's 8.5. Yeah, I know you do, Tina. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. And it's basic black. You'll need basic white, and that's 4 by 5.25. That's going to go on the inside. I'm going to put that in a while. I tend to lose things when I'm sitting right here. Okay. I went ahead and stamped the pumpkins, and I used our watercolor pencils. Okay. The markers are going to be gone. They're on last chance while supplies last. We are not going to be carrying our markers anymore. So with that being said, I'm going to show you how I came up with that. Let me bring one of these out. And let's see. I'm going to show you how I came up with that real quick. I took our watercolor crayon pencils. We have 2 different sets. Okay. And it has, this one has 13 pencils. And this one only had 3, 6, 9, 10. The first set was 10. I took Cajun Craze, and let me go in a little closer for you. What I did was I just took my Cajun Craze and outlined the pumpkin right where the lines were. Okay. And then when there's shadowing down here, I went ahead and I filled it in with the pencils. Okay. So you're going to do that with all of the 2 pumpkins and the pear. Okay. Then you're going to take your blending brush, your blending blender pen, and you're just going to bring in that Cajun Craze into the pumpkin from the outlines that you put. And you're just going to bring it all back into the pumpkin. And that's how I did this whole thing. Okay, so that's how I did that. But you want to make sure you clean these off, the tips of your blender pen. Hi, Rhonda, welcome. Hi, Denise. And that's all you do to clean the tips of that. And then that's how I did that. And then I cut it out with the die. Okay, back to the chalkboard. Where's my pumpkin? Oh, I moved it over there. Okay. I'm going to bring in my basic white, Whisper White ink pad, and my blending brush, and a piece of paper to lay it on. Going to rub my blending brush into my ink pad. And I'm starting off the paper, and I am just gonna go over the black cardstock, and I work in circles, and I just keep going over my cardstock. And no two cards are going to look the same with this. And you just keep going over till you get your desired coverage. Look at my blending brush. That's from the black cardstock. And your chalkboard isn't usually solid when you write on it and take the eraser over it. But I think I'm happy with that. Get down here a little. Okay. Close this up. And I'll bring in these dimensionals. Take this off now. And we're going to put dimensionals on the back of this. And we'll move this one over here. Okay. And that's just going to go down in the bottom left-hand corner. And then I went ahead, and in the stamp set, it does have autumn wishes. Okay. And I just stamped that in black and fussy cut around it. So we're going to put a little glue on there. And we're going to lay it right about there. And then we're going to put that on the face of our card. Oh, I didn't give you the measure. This is 3 3/4 by 5. The layer here. And that would be the first card. Okay. And the second one is this one here. And this is using the Designer Series paper gathering. Yeah, that gathering paper. I don't have it out. Hold on a minute. Where did I put it? I know where it's at. Hold on, I want to give you the right one. Oh, Gathering Together. DSP. Okay. I'm using basic beige, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm using Early Espresso. It's going to be this layer, and that's 5 1/4 by 4. And this piece is from that Designer Series paper. And this has the basic beige background, where this one here has the white background, okay, on the paper. So I changed it up and put the basic beige. That's going to get laid there. Then I took a piece of DSP, which is 3 by 4, and I cut it diagonal. Okay, I laid my paper on my trimmer like this. This part and this point goes into the groove, and I sliced it in half. One is going to go here, and one will go up here. Okay, simple enough. So let's put glue in the corners, and then we'll put glue, and then this gets tucked right up to the edge. Okay, do the same here. Right up to the edges. Like so. So let's put this down a while onto our base. And we can put this one on. Like so. And then I went ahead and I did the leaf, but I did not color them in because this was actually going to be what I showed you how I was going to do this card first. But I'm just going to take my blending pen over the pencil crayons and bring in that color. Another way you could do that is you could, if you didn't want to use your color, if you don't have the watercolor crayons, you could take your ink pad, smash a little bit in the lid, and add a little bit of water, and use our, we have, aqua painters. And you can use that, they hold water. My paper, clean the tips. And then we're going to do the acorns. You don't want to rub too hard. You will tear your paper. Clean it. And we set that aside. And then I cut a 2 3/8 inch circle out of Early Espresso and a 2-inch circle out of Basic Beige. We're going to get Autumn Wishes. And we're going to stamp right on this paper. And we're going to stamp that in Cajun Craze. Now that make sure it's straight. Oh, it looks pretty good. Oh, thanks, Raylene. And welcome. I didn't see you pop on. I'll show you in a minute, Tina. Autumn Wishes. To smash it in your pad, ink pad. Close it. Now, in our old ink pads, before they came up with these, we were able to smash the top. Okay? But I noticed that's harder to do, so I take it and smash both sides. And when you open it up, that didn't work. I'm pushing real hard on the bottom. And then see there. And then you can take your a blending brush or pen, and you can ink up your blending pen, and you can color that way. Okay. And if you change colors, you just got to make sure you clean the tip. And I'm cleaning it on the sides. I'm not going like this. I have it laying off to the side, and I'm cleaning it that way. It takes a while to clean these when you do that technique. But you want to clean it till you don't see any of the color. There you go. That's how you do smash it in the lid. I got my finger in that. Okay. So now we're going to glue this onto the circle. Put it in the center, and I should have stamped it up towards the top, but I already have it down. So we'll just change it a little. Bring that up a little higher there. And this is just glued down. And I'm just going to lay it underneath there. It's not too bad. And then I have a piece that was left over after I cut that. And I'm just going to lay that on the side here. And this is just 1 inch by 3 3/4. And that's just going to go there. And I didn't put no white inside here or anything like that because it's light cardstock and you can stamp on it or write on it and they'll be able to see your message. So that's card number 2. Card number 3, I'm saving this one for last. Card number 3 is this one here. It's a book fold. And you just open it up and you have that. Oh, that ain't glued down very good. Well, let me put some liquid glue on it. I used my retiring snail adhesive that we used to carry. But it's our book fold. And it's 8.5 by 5.5, and you're scored at 3 3/4. I'm sorry, 3 1/4 and 4 1/4. So the first line is 3 1/4. The second one is 4 1/4. You're going to fold that like that on the 4 1/4 inch, like a regular card, and then that 3 1/4, you're going to fold it backwards. Bring your bone folder in, and that's where you get your book. Bring in our papers. And for the acorn, I did green instead of Calypso coral. And I have a little bit of Cajun craze on the outside there. So it has a little bit of yellow and green. Okay. This is 3/4 by 5 1/4. That's going to go there. So we're going to put that down because we're going to add some twine to it. So let's put that there. Okay. Gonna lay this up here. I'll bring in the twine. The twine comes with this suite. I did not get the whole suite. I think there might be a folder to it. I just bought the stamp sets and the dies and the paper, and then I picked up this. Okay, that looks crooked. All right, what I'm going to do, since I don't have any of my, I'm just going to put some of this snail on the inside here to hold my ribbon or my twine. So you're going to lay that down, bring it over, bring it up, and you're going to crisscross it. And then bring it around. And then you're just going to cut that part off. And you come over this way. I'm going to add glue. And we'll fold that down. You can spread the twine before you finish. Okay. Then I'm going to take a piece, I'm just going to tie a knot underneath where it goes together. And we're going to cut that off. I have a net. It's half dead. There we go. Got it. Got the net. It was half dead. And another one. He was flying around earlier. And I must have tapped him and had him half dead. All right. And then we're going to take a piece of that designer series paper. Okay. And we're going to, it's 3 by 5 1/4. That's going to go on the front. Like so. This is going to go on the inside. So we're going to put that in a while. Takes a little while for that to hold when you put string on there or a ribbon or whatever. And then, oh, I didn't cut that down, so it's actually 5 1/2 by 3. I thought I cut that down. That's not straight. Come on. There we go. And then I have a piece of the designer series paper that is like this here for the inside bottom. And that's just a 1/2 inch by 3. Okay. I went ahead and stamped thanks, which is in the stamp set, and mounted that. That's on basic beige, and mounted that on early espresso. I'm going to pop up my acorns. I have to get some more dimensionals. These are from Paper Pumpkin years ago. Okay. So this is going to go right about there. Okay. And the thanks is just going to get glued down. Excuse me. And I slid it under those acorns a little. And there you have card number 2 or 3. Okay. Now for card number 4, I need to get my colored pencils here. I need Cajun Craze, crushed curry, you know what? I didn't use those. I used ink pads. Cajun Craze, crushed curry, old olive, and pumpkin pie. This is the card I'm going to show you using that die. And I don't have the inside, but I think I have a paper to put inside this one. But this is the, now on here, I used, I think I used the blends on this. Okay, bring in my paper here, and I need to get my sponge, my blend brushes, my brushes. And green, yellow, pumpkin pie. I need the yellow. Well, I can't find my yellow. We'll use this one. Oh, I think I used that one. Okay. So, let me bring in my piece of white, which is, oh, you know what? Oh, I mounted a 4 by 5 1/4 basic white on adhesive sheet, okay? Because when I cut these out, that way it will be, the always has glue on, since it's so many different spaces where it's skinny. So that was a tip I wanted to show you, and I couldn't figure out why it felt thick, like it was more there. Okay, orange. That's good. There's this. Let me see what this one is. That one's the yellow. This one was the orange. I need to mark them. I need to get more too. All right, what I did was I started off this sheet here, okay, and I'm just going to go on different places with the different color and just fill in with the different colors that I'm using. A little bit of green. I go over the green a little bit more later. I do some yellow. And they're not going to look the same, so don't be alarmed if they're not. And then Cajun Craze. Fill that in. And then I'm going to bring the green back in and put a little more green. in places. Okay, close these up. I'll bring in my cut and emboss machine and we'll cut this one out. Get them out of the way. Okay, let's get my cut and emboss machine. You need plate 1, plate 2, acrylic plate 3. You're going to lay your image down. But before I do, I want to put this, make sure it's in the middle. I want the same amount of border around it so that when you put it on the card, you have the border around that's even. Okay. So for me to do that and that it don't move, I got some Post-it tape here that I will put on the folder here, or the die. Okay. And then you take a plate 3 and you're going to lay that on there and you're going to run it through. Now, since I have it on the adhesive sheet, I'm going to run it through a couple times. And one more. And if you flip it over, you can tell if it cut right or cut the whole way through. Okay. All right. Let's take the tape off. And we're gonna remove it. And you will have to cut or punch some of them out because it didn't all come out. There is a brush that I could use, but I don't know where my foam, I just had it the other day. Here it is. Okay. This is the foam. Whoop, I just have that little pieces all over me now. This attachment will attach to your pick me up tool. Pick up, yeah, this tool here. I'll put that on there so I don't jab myself. And it just screws into this end that has the putty end. You're going to lay your die that you did on there, and you're just going to rub this brush over the die pieces, and it will take out those pieces that's left in your image, your cutout. You just go over till you have it all out. I don't rub too hard. I don't want to tear my image. So what don't come out, I take my pointy end and I punch it out. But this way it's in a plastic case and it all stays in there. You can just take this and go like this, knock it off, and it'll stay in there for you till you empty it. Then clean it out. I'm not too worried about the white here is the glue, because once I take the backing off, the whole thing that'll all come off. But you want to make sure you get all the little things out. I think I got it. I'm stubborn. Okay, one more. All right, that's it. Let's throw this in the garbage. Put this over here. Bring in our supplies. Okay, this goes on the inside. I went ahead and did this. This is with the watercolor pencils. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. Okay. And then this is going to get laid right on here. So I'm going to peel the back off. I'm just going to do it easy. This makes it so much easier to glue than to try to glue all the the nooks and cranny. And then you're going to lay this on your card front. And there you have it. It's all down, glued, and everything. And like I said, there's not going to be two that's going to look the same. I'm going to put this on the inside. And then this gets popped up. And one more. And I want this one over here a little. Okay. Take the backings off. That's going to get down here in the right hand corner. This is just going to get glued down with adhesive. And that's going to get slide under here. About like that. There you go. And there's my 4 cards for tonight. I had to do autumn because today's the first day of autumn. So I thought, what better time to show you my autumn cards than on the first day of autumn. I have 2 of these pick-me-up tools, but my niece has the one. Thanks, Linda. My niece has one. I got to get it from her because I keep this on on the other one, and then I have this out all the time. Okay, so here are the 4 cards from tonight. Now you could put bling on if you want. I buy the bling and I don't use it. I don't know why. And there is I think they're rust color or something. They're a darker color gems that goes with the suite. But like I said, I didn't do the whole suite. I only got a few things out of it. And this actually isn't the paper that goes to that. I thought, thanks, Rhonda. I thought I ordered the paper that went with this suite, and I did not. I ordered another pack of this one. All right, guys. I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. I do appreciate every one of you. And if you didn't already share, please share, like. That helps my... Oh, thanks, Rosie. Yeah, that's my favorite one, too. It helps my channel. And I'm trying to get to 1,000. And I think I need 147, maybe. Something like that. So, all right. Have a wonderful rest of the week. I will see you back here Wednesday for Scrapbooking Wednesday. And then on... Oh, thanks, Laura. And then on Friday, I will have a Christmas card, or no, a sampler. I will have a fall sampler for you for Friday. So, and it's using some of this paper. You're welcome, Madeline. All right, guys. Have a wonderful evening. What's left of it. And thank you for subscribing. Milne? Sorry. I probably messed up your last name if it's your last name. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back here Wednesday, 8 o'clock for Scrapbooking Wednesday. Night. You're welcome.